So there's obviously like a lot of producers, right? So to identify your role, like how can you be most helpful, I think is first what I did. And also from my background of what I try to do on Grey's or on Station 19 was like, how can I sort of be a voice for the actors? Because there's lots of producers who do lots of other things, but how can I be a voice for the actors and the crew? I have a voice and I have the power that some other people don't feel comfortable enough to use. So I really just try to go around and say, like, what can I do for you? Is there anything you need? Do you need an earlier call time? Do you need a later call time? Do you need, like, how can I be helpful? And really just kind of listen. And again, I've come to that from learning a lot of lessons. Like I've stuck my foot in my mouth. I've overstepped. I've tried to advocate for people who didn't want to be advocated for. Like, not to say like I haven't messed up majorly producerially. Like it's all a journey and a learning process. But that's how I function in this particular role. How I function was, and then the other blessing that I've learned is really how to have an inclusive set. A lot of, I think, sets think they're being inclusive. You know, schools think they're being inclusive. Lots of different environments think they're being inclusive, and they really still can do so much better. And that too has been, you know, a learning journey. I didn't walk out saying like, you guys can do better. Like I've been taught. I've had the blessing to be able to listen when people have criticized me and tried to teach me things. And we can always do better and be more inclusive. And so because I work on a Shonda Rhimes show and I have a real front row seat to what true inclusivity looks like, I've been able to use my capacity as a producer in that way as well on this set.
Did you have to learn to be able to really listen to criticism like that? Or do you think you were born with it? Because I feel like so many people, if they're told like, hey, you didn't get this right, try next time, they just shut down and like no one can learn that lesson. And it's kind of, it feels like a rare gift to me. Do you feel like you always had that in you to kind of take that criticism?
No, I don't feel like I've always had that gift. I feel like I've, you know, as I get older, I realize that, you know, it's good to just listen. Sometimes that's all you need to do is listen. I was definitely much more defensive when I was younger, which I think is kind of normal. I have a teenager and I think that, you know, life is a process and I think it's sort of natural. Our defense, our ego wants to be defensive. That's our first mode is to just like throw our hands up and get defensive. But hopefully if you grow emotionally, you learn that you don't always need to be defensive and you can listen, which is just, you know, the journey that I'm on.